Hey guys, Brent Hull here. Wednesday design video. We've got an interesting challenge. Builder client is wanting to build a house in a existing development. Okay, so $500,000 is the range, 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. We're looking at $120 to $150 a square foot. Can it be done? Can we build a more beautiful house in an existing neighborhood with those same teams of subs and materials and palettes of things? It's an interesting challenge. Come check it out. Here's the challenge of the design challenge, as well as a building better challenge. And so the goal really is to raise the bar, right? To improve building. Okay, and so with this client, it's an entry-level house, and so we can't really do divide light windows. We can't do wood windows, right? So it's a 2,200 square foot house, but it's probably 3,200 square feet under roof. And so maybe a little bit more. So we're building at about $100 to $150 a foot. The big guys, D.R. Horton and those guys that build in mass production and things like that, they're building in the $110, $120 a foot. And our world, we're building at $500, $600 a foot and up. The challenge is living in that lower tier, okay, where you're limited by, there's HOAs, there's restrictions as far as, how much timber, how much brick, how much masonry, what it should look like. So it becomes how do you build a good quality house today? There's a lot of hardship there, right? You can't afford an architect at that level. They're not going to say go to the tile store and pick out your tile. Do you want white or black, right? It's the Henry Ford joke. You can have any color you want as long as it's black. And so, when he was talking about his cars. And so the idea of building a production house like this, when we don't have an assembly line, we're not Henry Ford. So how do you put good design in it? So this is the exercise, this is the challenge, this is kind of what we are up against. And you'll see from pictures in that neighborhood, there are, a lot of timber stuff, kind of that ranchy barn look is kind of an important look. Multiple gables, multiple hips, multiple, dormers, kind of weird things that are going on that have no resemblance of things going on inside the house. What I've done is I've basically given them a very symmetrical plan, a very even plan. We got 25, 25, and 20 in the middle. We've got a center access line. You're going to open the front door. You're going to look right at the fireplace. There's going to be balance. There's going to be harmony. What's going on the inside is communicated on the outside. You'll notice the gable end on the right has, the smaller windows, like it was a stables or something like that, with the kind of the one shutter hanging out over the side. The left side has bigger windows because that's the kitchen and that's the living area and stuff like that. There's a front porch. A house like this should have a front porch. There's exposed rafter tails. A lot of times what happens is they're building cottagey-esque houses, but they're framing in the eaves like you would, a very traditional or ranch style house. We're opening those eaves up. We're having exposed rafter tails. We think that's going to be more charming, more authentic. And so we're introducing these ideals. We're going to introduce this idea to people and see whether it sells better, see whether people are attracted to that harmony, that balance, that beauty, and still offer them the same house, but give them a house that's beautiful. Give them a house that they want to live in for a long time. Let me show you our design. Let me show you what we did. Basically, what we're trying to do that's a little bit different is create the kind of this cottage feel, right, on this house. And so, how do we get there? Essentially, there's an interest in symmetry. So this is 25 feet, this is 25 feet, this is 20 feet. So we got a 70-foot house across the front. You'll notice that there's a center line access piece that is meant to create balance. You walk into a great room. This will be a skylight into the great room. The fireplace, you'll look right into there. There's a center access there. This is a family kitchen room, so that these windows and this gable end are more important than this one. This is a garage that you're going to be pulling in from the side, so it should speak to the fact that it's a garage. A lot of new houses have gable ends that end up looking really ugly, so we're just going to go with exposed rafter tails and kind of continue to speak to that cottage look. All the windows have lintels over top, wood lintels, again creating this cottage feel. The brackets and the arms that support this front porch is very important. So instead of, a lot of times you'll just see a bracket, almost tacked on to the side of a column. That's never the way it was done historically. We're going to have some neat joinery there. And so in any case, this is meant to convey a cottage, this is meant to convey a feel. Part of the reason we're doing this is because other houses in that neighborhood, I spoke to it earlier, it's really difficult when you're building into an existing neighborhood to bring fresh ideas, because there is an expectation that happens when people drive into those neighborhoods. They expect to see some of the same things. So we're trying to play to that. Here's your garage that you pull into, your big great room that you walk across. There'll be a center access line through the kitchen, another center access line this way. The master bedroom and closet will be back here, attached to the laundry, attached to some storage and utility areas. So 2 bedrooms back here. It's about 2,100 square feet. We're introducing symmetry, balance, and kind of beauty in an effort to, convey just order, okay? And so a lot of these houses out there just are, ugly and over the top. And so we're trying to be a little bit different. Hopefully that works out. The client's, mandate to me was like, let's use the same materials, let's use the same things everybody else is doing, let's organize it in a better way. And so hopefully we've done that. Hopefully we have, created something that's more unique, but also beautiful, simple, clean lined, organized. Let me know what you guys think. So this exercise is really fascinating. One is you end up with something that's very simple, right? By not being gaudy, by not being over the top, by not just throwing things up there just to provide interest from the street. But interest from the street is real. Interest from the street really is something that people are trying to create, okay? Designers are trying to create. Now, they are picking and choosing those materials haphazardly. They are picking and choosing those materials without regard to their historic precedent. And so, but if I introduce those things into a design, will people really even get it? At that entry-level house, do people care? Or do they want the most square footage for the least amount of money? So it's a sociological thing. There is a design thing. How far do we push the limits? How far do we, I put that dormer in there. I didn't have a dormer originally, but that dormer was going to open up to that living space below. None of the other houses that have dormers have that. So I think that's authentic. I think it's better. I think those shutters on the garage, those one leaf shutters on the garage are an interesting cottagey feel, right? But how goofy do we get, or how tricked up do we get without start playing games, start losing authenticity? So I think it's fascinating. It's a fun exercise. They're going to see whether it's successful out in the field.